Devon's family here in attendance. It has been 2 years since Team 3D have united for a matchup, and it took place right here in TNA Wrestling on our 1000th episode of Impact. Both these teams have been on the record. The place for this match has always been TNA Wrestling to them. Considered arguably the most popular and the most influential tag team of all time. What are the Hardys thinking?
I mean, it is a tables match, but oh, the Hardys can't be involved without bringing out some extra hardware.
From trampolines in Cameron, North Carolina, to death-defying WrestleMania moments littered with ladders, to revolutionizing the industry over and over again here in TNA. Matt and Jeff Hardy's legacy will live forever. This is a tables match for the NXT and TNA World Tag Team titles. 3D right out of the gates. A little whisper in the wind, but Team 3D knows that one all too well.
Doesn't get any clearer than that. Look out!
3D through the table. That's one. Oh, and Devon got out of the way. Matt Hardy through the table, but that's not going to count in the favor of Team 3D.
25 years ago, Anaheim, California. I'm getting a hell of a lot of deja vu here. A moment that inspired a generation.
From TNA Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, welcome back to TNA Impact After the Glory. We are joined in studio by the legendary Hardys, the reigning NXT and TNA World Tag Team Champions. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and thank you for what you guys did this past weekend at Bound for Glory. Thank you for everything you've done for TNA Wrestling for years, and especially this resurgence that we're all enjoying. Walking into the evening, Matt, what were your emotions like knowing that this was going to be the last time you would stand across the ring from Team 3D?
The emotions were certainly high, and there were a lot of them. And you just said, thank us for everything we did at Bound for Glory, last Sunday. And it's weird. Sometimes I feel very bad about what we did in some ways because we ended up retiring the Dudleys when it's all said and done. And it's just a very strong reminder that everything ends, even the Immortals. Everything ends at some point. I think it is our job now to continue to move forward and remember those guys, remember them giving us their boots, and make sure their legacy lives on through us in many, many ways. Going into that match, man, I knew it was going to be very emotional. I knew those guys were going to try and come right out of the gate as strong as they can to try and hit a knockout punch right from the jump. I felt very confident about our odds because we are in the midst of a great run. We're both we're both very physically fit, we're both in great shape. And I knew they hadn't been in the ring a lot. So we knew it was going to be emotional, but we had no idea it was going to be emotional as it ultimately ended up being in the end.
I mean, we're talking about this journey. I want to throw it back a little bit. And Jeff, I'll turn to you. We talked about what it felt like at Bound for Glory, that last night. Do you have any memories of some of the first nights standing across the ring from Devon and Bully way back when?
Oh, many, man. Madison Square Garden was the first, man. Just standing across the ring from these two guys, actually running into each other, colliding at the highest of pace was incredible at Madison Square Garden. But I want to go back to Slammiversary real quick. I had no idea. We had no idea that match was ever going to happen until, it was announced, and Bully came out to the ring and challenged us pretty much. And I was like, whoa, is this really going to happen? And sure enough, it really happened. Bound for Glory 2025. I'm so grateful for them, having the match with us, because to go out there and see that crowd comparing this Bound for Glory to last year's Bound for Glory, it lifted my spirits so high, man. And talk about an adrenaline rush from the get-go, man. That was it for me.
Jeff, along the path to Bound for Glory, we had a great series called Road to Glory that was featured on iMPACT and our social and digital platforms. All four of you were interviewed in the lead up to this matchup. You talked about the first time you got to see Team 3D in action, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning on ECW. So can you put us in your shoes, and what was it like when you and Matt were huddled around the TV seeing these guys do this thing?
Yeah, it was me and Matt. At 2 a.m. ECW came on, and we had to be super quiet so we didn't wake our dad up. And we were watching the Dudleys in the original ECW, and we were so inspired by that. And it just made us want to become pro wrestlers even more because it was so different, such a different world. We were close to going there, but to eventually, be in the ring with the Dudleys, I mean, that was the ultimate. Going from that childhood dream in the living room, trying not to wake our dad up, to actually fighting these guys on pay-per-view, it's just incredible.
I got to ask, Matt, you guys have had so many incredible moments throughout your careers. Tables, ladders, chairs, moments now that are indelible in wrestling history. And I can imagine, especially in the early days, sometimes it's hard to live those in the moment, as you two so often like to do. But I feel like going into this one at Bound for Glory, did you guys take a little bit more time during moments of this match to really just feel that gravity live in the moment?
We did. I think even from the very beginning when we came out through that entrance, that crowd was so passionate and enthusiastic. And we came out and we did our entrance, and then we said, oh, they brought tables out. Well, we have some toys as well.
Sure.
We go back out, we come out with a ladder, we come out with a chair. That was a very fitting tribute to our TLC contest that we had obviously in the past together. But just the energy and the way that crowd reacted to this, and they knew they were witnessing something very special. It was palpable, their energy and their passion. And we came out, and I think we both did. We took moments to be present in those moments and remember this. And we didn't rush anything in that match. We really tried to latch on to as many of the moments and the memories as we possibly could. And It is something that the entire thing, from beginning to end, from alpha to omega in that match, it will be burned in my head for the rest of my life.
And just so the TNA fans know, I looked all day for a 14-footer double-sided ladder, and I could not find one. So we had to go with the one we did.
Which I think was plenty high. Don't worry. I don't think anybody wasn't freaking impressed.
You did just fine. It was after the matchup. I don't know if anybody could have expected how emotional that was going to be, how that was going to feel. I can only imagine what it was like between the four of you. Can the two of you articulate, and Matt, I'll start with you, Team 3D handing you their boots?
We had no idea that was going to happen. We didn't know they were planning on retiring. I mean, we figured this might be Devon's last match, but they retired as a team. They're done. We had no idea that was happening, and we especially had no idea that they were going to hand us their boots, which was the ultimate sign of respect, I would say. You know, hey, you guys, you beat us. We've had this rivalry for a quarter of a century, which sounds crazy, over a quarter of a century. And these guys to give us those boots, they're trophies. They're giving us trophies. You were the better team. You were the greatest. You're the greatest of all time. Here you go. Here's our boots. You take them. And it really was emotional. What you saw, there was nothing fabricated out there. It was very real. There were times where we were both tearing up. We both felt like crying because we knew it really was the end of an era. And not only is it the end of the Hardys Dudleys era, the Hardy Team 3D era, it's the end of a lot of people's fandom because they'll never see it again. That was the last time. And I'm really proud of everyone that was in that match because we went out and the final chapter that we wrote in the Hardys and Team 3D was solid. It was respectable. It was a bunch of indelible moments that people will remember for the remainder of time, and that finish just was the icing on the cake.
I didn't know what to think as far as the boots. When we got to the back, I looked over at Matt, and I was like, what? We got their boots, man. What? I mean, is this even a thing? And Matt said, it is now. I was like, oh, my God,
right?
This is so honored, so honored.
As we began this, I'll end it thanking you both. Jeff, thank you. Matt, thank you for everything you did.
Very much.
Congratulations
Thank
on the
you very much.
victory. Congratulations on the moment.